So today I want to take off both the side covers, so the clutch slash flywheel side as well as the other side, which is the stator cover. Um, to do that, first we have to drain the oil, take this cable off, take the sensor off, all that good stuff. So let's move ahead with draining the oil. I'm just going to leave the filter on for just now because I'm going to do a double oil change when the time comes to reassemble, just because the heads have been open and a bunch of dust and grit and stuff has settled on it. So I want to get all of that out, and I don't necessarily want to change the filter twice. So for the first oil change post reassembly, I will leave the same filter on, and then when we do the final oil change, uh, I'll put in a new filter. It's three 4 mm hex Allen head bolts to get the belly pan off. Usually, I like to have um, the bike warm before I spill the oil out, but obviously we can't start the bike right now. I'm just gonna wipe this pan down really quick because it's a little bit dirty, and I usually like to check the oil to see what's going on in there. Oil drain plug is a big 10 mm Allen. So the drain plug is magnetic. There's a tiny amount of metal on there, but that is just about what I would expect. Oil looks really clean, which it should, because barely has 1,000 something miles on it. Uh, it does have one track on it though, so I have noticed that the crush washer tends to stay in the oil drain hole in the oil pan whenever I take it off. Be sure not to double gasket that. I almost made that mistake. Now we can keep working as that thing drains. I'm gonna put this somewhere safe. I'm going to make a template with a piece of cardboard and draw the outline of this cover and punch some holes in it for the different fasteners that go in there. I think some of these are different lengths, so it's going to be important to do that. So it looks like there are 17 fasteners total. I'm actually going to take the clutch off before that. I slacken the cable fully from the handlebar lever end, but there's still not enough slack to take it off from this. So I'm going to give it some more slack from the adjuster here. It's a 13 mil spanner. Easy enough. This comes off. I'm going to just temporarily put this cover back onto the case. We will replace this O-ring eventually, but for just now, because I don't want to keep track of another piece, I'm going to put it there. Next, I'll take the crank position sensor off. It's a 5mm hex, it looks like. Just gonna let this guy hang out here. Put the screw back. So before I pull this cover off, I'm going to put the drain plug back in and put some pig mat down here so that whatever oil leaks is not making a huge mess. Crash washer is still in there. I am going to use this plastic pry tool to just help release it. Like this whole side released by just pulling the clutch lever a little bit, but this side something seems to be still holding it. I think there might be a dowel pin or something in here. I just wanted to get the clutch cable out of the way. That's the clutch, obviously. I'm just looking to see if there's any wear in the basket or gears or anything that there shouldn't be, but everything looks really good so far. Not sure where this little piece of wire came from. I guess once this engages, this will be, once this gear in here engages these teeth, I guess it'll be captive. It's a little bit loose, just sitting there. But everything else looks fine. I just wanted to quickly make a note that about something I observed. Looks like 5 of these holes for the clutch cover appear to have a thread locker in them, but not the rest of them. It's somewhat strange. I looked really carefully and it doesn't look like any of them are through holes to where it would need thread sealer to keep the oil in, but it just appears to be regular blue thread lock. I'll probably be adding blue thread lock to those fasteners when they go back in. I just wanted to note that. Now we're going to take the stator cover off. I was looking at the stator wiring and it looks like it kind of snakes around up here, and there's a big white connector in there where it sits. I think I'm just going to leave it alone and let the cover hang out here. I'll probably secure it with something like a zip tie or a bungee cord or something, so that it's not actually hanging on the wire, but just kind of get it out of the way and leave it here. I am going to take this PCV hose off though. It's what I think this is. It goes from here straight into the airbox. So I'm fairly certain this is the PCV hose. I will take the PCV hose off and then we'll replace it with a regular hose clamp when we're putting it back together. I believe there's an O-ring behind this, so we could also take these 3 4mm Allen bolts out and then replace that O-ring when we're putting it back together. But yeah, I don't think either way it makes a huge difference. I have another piece of cardboard here and I'm going to draw up the template. I don't think we need to take this cover off. We can, it's not a big deal. So I might just go ahead and do that because it's just 3 bolts, but this cover kind of fits weird. You kind of have to maneuver it in there. I just recently did the chain and sprockets on it as part of the big 12,000 mile service. So it's all cleaned up and stuff, and I just put this back, but not a big deal, we can take it off. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay, 8 on this, 3 on this. The long bolt is on top. Put my pick in here and just work it around to get this hose to release. Not stabbing the hose, but trying to get my pick underneath. There you go. Just work it all the way around. So that it releases. Ah, lovely. Yeah, smells like a PCV. You might need some pry bar action to get this guy to come off, because uh, this the stator is in the cover and it's magnetically being held on to the rotor. I think there's a dowel pin here. Okay, it's off the dowel. There we go. Okay, coming in for a closer look. So it looks like from the factory there was RTV on this mating surface instead of a gasket. I do believe I have a gasket for this side in the kit that I bought from AF1. So when it goes back together, I'll be taking off all this RTV and then we'll be putting in a gasket. This is just going to hang out here while we do the adjustment, and then I'll eventually put it back.